You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Yeah, no, I just think it's interesting how things are. That's interesting. Someone who isn't followed that well basically saying that the Falcons believe that they will be the ones to get Watson. But I was saying to Charlie Wilson, love that name. I was saying, what do the Falcons have which they can offer the Texans? And I don't understand it. Like every other team he's been mentioned with, to a lesser extent, have pieces they can send the other way. The Falcons have nothing. So, like, do they give them Matt Ryan? Why would the Texans want Matt Ryan?
No, they got picks. They could send them a massive amount of picks, but at the same time, that's where Deshaun Watson is from.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Like he want to go home, he plays home, and if he wants to play on a trash team, that's up to him.
But then it go to like if he can end up going to like Cleveland, I guess
he can win the Super Bowl in Cleveland next year.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's now obviously it comes down to, does he genuinely just want to get out of Houston? He doesn't care where he goes, to an extent, I guess. But yeah, if he goes to the Falcons, it's basically him and Kyle Pitts. That is it. And the Falcons would have basically given all of their future capital to build around him.
That doesn't matter though. It's like what the Falcons don't care and what they got to give up to get Watson. Watson doesn't care what the team looks like if he's going to Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? Because he chose Atlanta. Yeah. But Houston getting returned back is what matters. So they have to get a minimum amount of ones. So it's going to be three ones minimum, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what they get back. But yeah, other teams like Cleveland could give you 3 ones and Kareem Hunt. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or 3 ones, Kareem Hunt and somebody else.
Like David Njoku.
Right. And Carolina, 3 ones, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, but it is what.
Listen, all I'm saying, and I said it, I think I said it off air, I don't think I've said it on an episode yet. No matter where Watson goes next year, he best make the playoffs and he best play 17 games. He misses 1 game due to injury or doesn't make the playoffs. Like, I dare Deshaun Watson in 2022 to go 4-13. I dare him because I'm going on every show saying, now what? What happened to Mr. Elevator? He makes everyone around him. I'm telling you, I want 17 games, 35 touchdowns in the year, 12 rushing touchdowns. I want him to catch 3 touchdowns as well. If it's not that, if he doesn't make the playoffs and Tua does, yeah, people are going to be eating a lot of humble pie. But the thing is, people won't. They'll just be like, oh, but look at the team he went to. He had no weapons. He had no offensive line. I'm like, So yeah. And, you look at what teams are doing in the offseason at the moment. Like, look at the pieces on defense the Chargers are getting for Justin Herbert. Obviously it's a team game, 3 phases of the ball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But again, all this, the quarterback can elevate, what's around them. Yeah, we can to a certain degree, but you need good pieces around them. And so far, other teams are doing that. The Dolphins have just started to. but it does kind of feel like they kind of bring it back on hand with the Dolphins, I guess. It does now feel like that players or teams are kind of waiting until players start getting cut. And when players start getting cut, that's when you can start seeing teams go, okay, this guy's now available, we're going to go and get that guy. You know, Lau Collins now available, we're going to go get him. We'll talk about as we go on. But yeah, it's moving pieces, a lot of moving pieces.
Hey, it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. I got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. So check it out. It's the free agency update, and we're gonna cover a lot of free agents that didn't come to Miami, but they affected Miami some type of way. And then we're gonna talk Miami free agents, who's out there, who's still left, where we think we're going. But I really want to start with, you know what? Before we start there, Kadeem been in the gym, bro. You been in the gym, bro? What's up?
Yeah, I've got my protein shake with me right now, and I'm so if you watched Tuesday's like free agency update videos, I was wearing a Dolphins hoodie, and I was meant to have a session at midday UK time, and my trainer pushed it back to 1:45, and I was like, not ideal, but we move. You do what you got to do, and of course the Dolphins start making signings, and I was like, and this was like I'm on my way home, so no, this was I was on the way, and I messaged Charlie. I was like, the Dolphins just signed someone. I'm not around for like 2 hours, but when I get back, we'll do something. And as I'm leaving, I was like, okay, I'm on my way home. I'll be back an hour and a half, and then the Dolphins started making moves, and I was like, I called an Uber, didn't have time to shower or eat. I jumped on my sweaty self just to get content out. So do me a favor. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch those videos just for me, because my body was aching. I was smelly. I was hungry. But I wanted to make sure that the Go Time Dolphins listeners had the fresh content, the up-to-date, up-to-the-minute content. So for me, go back and watch it, please.
I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem, you better than me, bro. Because I was in the gym too when the Teddy stuff came down, and I came home, but bro, I had to get right before I came back on. I had a question. I had a question for you. So when I went to Texas, y'all know I was on a road trip. I went to Texas, drove to Texas, 22 hours, and then I drove back 22 hours. Got to visit some family. You know, I like that road life. I like to drive. And on my way home, I came back. I was in Florida. For everybody from Florida, y'all know we have Publix. Y'all know what Publix is. I don't even want to move to a state that doesn't have Publix, right? For everybody across the pond, Publix is a food chain. It's a grocery store. All right. So I went to Publix and I'm driving home. It's like 9:00 at night, and I'm 3 hours away from the house. I'm like outside of Lakeland, Florida, and about 3 hours away from home. So I stop. I get a chicken wrap. And I smash half the chicken wrap, right? And I get home. I'm so tired. I don't unpack. I don't do nothing. I bought a couple groceries from Publix when I was at Publix too, and I just put it on the counter. And I woke up. I went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Woke up, and I noticed I left half the chicken wrap out. I didn't put it in the refrigerator. So Kadeem, you eat mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: is it safe? Is the chicken wrap still safe after it sat out all night?
Yeah, that's going down. That's getting eaten, 100%. 100. The thing is, yeah, you would like, is it safe? That doesn't cross my mind. I'm telling you now, yeah. This is the kind of person I am. Don't comment my dome in the comments. Like, leave me alone. If I get something to eat now, like a chicken wrap, for instance, yeah, and I don't finish it, and it's on my table. If that's there in 2 days, that's going to microwave. I'm eating it. Like I said, 2 days. Like a week later, no, that's nothing. But like 2 days later, if that's still there, Yeah, that's a snack, 100%.
It's just
This
$2-3.
guy's in the morning and I'm thinking about mayonnaise. I don't care, not at all. I'm good.
So, for the record, I woke up. I forgot I left it out. You know, it's still wrapped up, but it was in the the grocery bag, and I like, man, I forgot I didn't put it in the refrigerator. So I went ahead and threw it in the refrigerator, and I came back to it later that day, smashed it. But yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on it because you know you the big boy on the podcast. You trying to get right in the gym. I appreciate that. Hey, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Kadeem Simmons getting right. You know, healthy lifestyle. That's what's up. Let's talk Dolphins football, man. I want to start with Mike Gesicki. And I'm going to tell you why. We need to appreciate Mike Gesicki, Dolphin fans. And I'm going to tell you why. Not only did we tag Mike Gesicki is on his honeymoon in Bora Bora. Literally in the middle of nowhere. If you look up Bora Bora on the map, all right, y'all can just Google where Bora Bora is. If you Google Bora Bora on the map, that is where Mike Gesicki is right now. Everyone knows no one wants to get franchise tagged. Not only does he get franchise tagged, he got franchise tagged as a tight end, where you only make $10 million, basically $11 million. If you get franchise tag as a receiver, that is $7 million more than what a tight end makes. Shout out to Dave, boy. They go Mike Gesicki, my dog. So the fact that Mike Gesicki did not even take this thing to the NFL and say, hey, I have 1,000 snaps at wide receiver and 100 snaps at tight end. I'm challenging this. I'm not happy with this, and I'm fighting this, and I want this tag to be considered a wide receiver tag. He could have threw the Dolphins front office into disarray with the cap. No one would have been unhappy. Would you have came at Mike Gesicki and be like, oh man, Mike Gesicki got $7 million more because now he's tagged as a receiver? Nah, bro, get your money, bro. Beat the system, bro. They've been beating us the whole time. So shout out to Mike Gesicki because not only did he sign his tag, he didn't even fight it. Didn't even say, you know what, I could try to get $7 million more. I'm gonna just sign this tag right now as a tight end. So we need to appreciate Mike Gesicki for everything that he is, the best hands on the team, and shout out to that dude, bro.
So you don't believe I'm not gonna call it a report, but a tweet which says that Gesicki signing his tag doesn't actually mean he's going to play, and that he still might try and get his that this might be a tactic for him to to strong arm the Dolphins and try and get a trade, or potentially try and get put on the wide receiver tag. You don't think that means anything?
I can give him his appreciation right now. And if he starts acting up, I can take it back, bro. But he needs to get appreciated for this right now, because a rumor is a rumor is a rumor. Sources are sources are sources. But the fact is, he did this. You see what I'm saying? And if you weren't going to play on the tag, you don't sign the tag. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you don't sign the tag and you say, I'm not signing this tag. I pull a Le'Veon Bell, get me out of here. Same thing with Jadeveon Clowney, but Le'Veon Bell was the first one to do it. And Mike Gesicki doesn't strike me as that person. Now, I'm not sure, however, if you can challenge it after you signed it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you might want to fight that before you actually sign this. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Nah, so I'm not. Shout out to Mike Gesicki, man. Double snow.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't trying to I'm 100% with you, but there was a tweet which basically the tweet said that don't take this for what it is he could be doing this to, like I said, try and strong arm the team into trading him, or taking to the league. But to me, it's like, as a player, you don't tweet out that. But what did he say? We'll go back. You don't tweet out the show goes on in South Florida if you plan to move, if that makes sense.
Bro, this is why I don't give those boys no time of day. I don't give sources and Twitter trolls any time of day, bro. The man signed his tender, and dude wants to be in Miami. Last season, he said, we're going to throw the ball 40 times a game, supported Tua. Nah, bro. Like, I forget what the trolls say. Look, at actions speak louder than words. And the man's action said, on my honeymoon, I'm going to sign this franchise tag. Thank you for the $11 million. You deserve it, Mike Gesicki.
100%.
Hey, so now current, a little more. I mean, that's current, but more current than, well, more, I can't even say more relevant. Free agency news. Emmanuel Agbo gets signed. What are the details? Isn't it like a, how much was it? It was quite the cash, wasn't it? While Kadeem is pulling it up, we're going to break down the Emmanuel Agbo contract. And it was an average of $16 million a year. But we're gonna tell you how Chris Greer should get a little more credit for this Emmanuel Agbo contract. Was it 16?
So according to Over the Cap, signing bonus is just $13 million, $3.25 million per season.
Mm-hmm.
His salary for 2022?
No, not the salary. The total. What was the total contract number?
65.4 million over 4 years.
You can stop right there. I got you. I'm gonna come in right now. So Agbo signed a $4 million contract, right? $65 million over 4 years. And when it came out, I actually came on the show like, man, I wish he would have took a little bit less. You see what I'm saying? And then everybody's, like, you got to support the line. We wanted DeMarcus Lawrence if he was going to get traded. Talk about Chandler Jones, Von Miller's out there. And here's the thing about the Agbo contract. It is a back-loaded contract. Shout out to Chris Greer and shout out to Agbo for accepting this and saying, I want to be here. Agbo said this 2 years ago. He wanted to be here long-term. And then he played well, and then he got the contract, and he's still here. So he took a team-friendly deal. The Agbo contract, in essence, is really a 2-year contract. It can be 3 if he's playing well, but I'm going to break down the Agbo contract for you. Matter of fact, I should probably send this to you. I don't know if you could pull this up or not, Kadeem. If you can, cool. If not, we'll talk about it. 1 second. This is bad podcasting, but y'all will work with us. Appreciate y'all patience. So Kadeem's going to pull it up while we're talking about it. The first year of Emmanuel Agbo's contract, he's only due $7.6 million cap hit. That's the cap hit. $7.6 million is Emmanuel Agbo's cap hit. $65 million contract, but a $7.6 million cap hit this season coming up. So he didn't take his $16 million and said, hey, I need my 16 right now. You know what I'm saying? And then give me my 16 next year. And then give me, he didn't do that. He said, all right, I'll work with the team. So Kadeem just pulled it up. This is the Emmanuel Agbo contract, the way it's laid out. 2022 is $7.6 million on the cap. 2023, it's $18.6 million on the cap. How's your math, Kadeem?
Not good.
26.2? $26.2 million is what he's due over the next 2 seasons. $26 million over the next 2 seasons. If you do the math on that, that's only $13 million per year. So when we thought he may have taken 16 or 17 a year, and I was hoping he'll come in at 12, he actually comes in at $13 million for the first 2 years. After the first 2 years, he's due $19 million in 2024. However, if we move on from Agbo in 2024, we'll only incur a dead cap hit of $6.5 million. Pre-June, post-June, you'll incur a lot less than that. So in essence, this is really a 2-year contract for $23 million or $26 million. Agbo due $13 million in the next 2 years, technically. Anything after that, if Agbo is super performing and outperforms the contract, we will gladly give him his $19 million in 2024. That's a high number. If he performs, then cool. That's what you get. It'll be a low number, actually, by 2024. And if he's not performing, we can move on from him, incur probably less than $3 million of dead cap, and there's no harm, no foul. And shout out to Emmanuel Agbo again, rolling the dice with us in Miami and only taking $7.6 million this year. You want to go somewhere, Kadeem?
Just that, yeah, I know you are like if you're not at the front of the Chris Greer trade, you're literally at the carriage behind. And it's just a matter of I guess trusting the process. We'll get onto other moves later on, but that Agbo deal was nice. Apparently he had interest from the Colts, the Bills, and someone else. He was like, I want to go back to Miami. And to me, that's the sign of the player and the person.
What was the non-Dolphin move, Kadeem? What was the one that caught your attention? A non-Dolphin free agency move?
Probably Tomlinson to the Jets. I think simply because he was someone who I guess people linked to Miami due to the Mike McDaniel, bringing him to Miami, or hiring him in Miami. And I think it's just a matter of people assumed the Dolphins was going to go guard. They would bring him in. He ended up going to the Jets. Very nice pickup for them. And I think that kind of started a bunch of moves which saw Dolphin fans be like, why weren't we in for him? But ultimately, you have to again trust the process and believe in what Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel wanted to do. Because let's be honest, I think if the Dolphins really wanted to bring in Tomlinson, they would have done it. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, he chose Robert Saleh over McDaniel. No, I don't think that was the case. I'm pretty sure he would have rather, linked back up with McDaniel. Like, you see Deebo Samuel eating, I guess it was brunch with Mike McDaniel recently. Like, that's the kind of person Mike McDaniel is. You want to be around him. You want to play for him. You want to, basically be his friends. I want to be his friends. And I just think that he was the first one where I was kind of like, and I think him over Amari Cooper, because Cooper's contract was quite large to say the least. But you said name one, I named one.
I mean, we could come back later. You can give me another one if you want, Kadeem. All right, so how about this? Yeah, if Mike McDaniel, if Chris Greer, you gotta imagine Chris Greer sits down with Mike McDaniel and said, hey, this is what we're thinking about doing. And Mike McDaniel either signs off on it or says, nah, man, I'm gonna push back a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how you have the conversation. But I'm pretty sure it's a pretty amicable relationship right now. Everybody's happy. And it's the honeymoon stages of that relationship. So if Chris Greer tells Mike McDaniel, this is what we want to do in the offseason with free agency, what do you think? What type of player do you want? This is we're going guard. If Mike McDaniel says Laken Tomlinson is a free agent, I gotta bring him in. You're going guard, and he's a guard. This is a no-brainer, and by all means, we need that by any means necessary. Since that didn't happen, I'm okay that we didn't get Tomlinson. So that being said, we bring in Conor Williams. Is it?
Yeah.
Right. We bring in Conor Williams, and that's cool. And my thing was Conor Williams is probably going to be a backup guard. I don't think he will start. But our line was so bad, I'm like, dog might end up starting. You feel me? And he's not a bad guard. I want to be clear. He's not chopped liver. He's not some guard we just pull out of nowhere and only paid him $7 million. Dude is nice. So there's a legitimate chance that Williams comes in and starts, right?
Very quickly, have you seen the talk / rumors that he might play tackle?
A little bit. I did see a little bit of that. I wasn't interested in it. Like, what are you going? So you're gonna have a guard play tackle and your tackles play guard now? You see what I'm saying? You're gonna have Williams play tackle and then Eichenberg or Jackson play guard. come on now. We got to be better than this.
Didn't he play? I think I saw something. He played tackle in college.
He's been in the league for like 5 years though.
I'm not disputing. This will be his 4th year.
So like let's just use that. If you're a tackle in college and you're a guard in the league, and you're not even a great guard in the league, why would we want to put you at tackle?
Don't know, but yeah, he played tackle in college.
That's fair. I still need that question answered then. If you played tackle in college and you're a guard in the NFL and you're not one of the best guards in the NFL, you're just a guard in the NFL. Why would we want to put that at tackle?
Maybe because, like you said, he's not one of the best guards. But I think it could be an Eric Flower situation where you move him around. Like, actually, do you know what? This is better. And I also think, given the offensive line he came into, the Cowboys weren't gonna mess around with that offensive line. Like, their tackles are their tackles. Like, Conor Williams, an excellent prospect coming out, plays tackle. But do you know what? We'll kick him inside and we'll just solidify our line even further.
So you just said it. Kick them inside. Eric Flowers went from tackle and got better at guard. You're more protected. It's an easier position to hide your flaws. Conor played tackle in college, got kicked inside to guard. Easier position to hide his flaws. So to kick him back. Go ahead.
Don't you think he got kicked inside because of who was at tackle, as opposed to him not being good enough to play tackle?
I don't know that. I can't dispute that.
But that's the thing that if sorry,
no, it's straight. You good? I mean, I can't dispute that. I don't know that's the case. I mean, I don't live in a world where I would want my guards to play tackle and my tackles to play guards. Though, if you're good at guard, yeah. This is the Liam Eichenberg all over again. You know what I'm saying? If you're good at left tackle, you're playing left tackle. If we absolutely need you at right tackle, I can understand that. But now that we're basically hitting the reset button on the O-line, let's get it right. Let's put people where they belong and work it out. So I'm going to actually give you the stats. Conor Williams, pretty good stats. 24 years old, 9th highest overall grade in the NFL, 13 pressures allowed last season, 2nd lowest in the NFL, 13 pressures allowed, 9th highest pass blocking grade, 12th highest run blocking grade of all guards with a snap minimum of 610 snaps. So that's cool, but none of them came at tackle.
And yeah, like again, I believe he should be a guard. I assume when we signed him, everyone was like, he's going to play guard. But it did seem like people were saying he might play tackle. Although what was funny is that, so we mentioned him having a boatload of penalties last season.
Mm-hmm.
And have you seen some of the jokes about the reasons why he got a bunch of penalties last season?
No.
Who's the Dallas Cowboys offensive line coach?
I don't know.
Joe Philbin.
Nah.
Joe Philbin, yep. And everyone's like, people are joking, I'm going to put those penalties on bad coaching from Joe Philbin. Because prior to that, he wasn't a penalty guy. And it seems like last year was the anomaly, was like, what happened? And people were like, yeah, Joe Philbin. Joe Philbin got in his head and messed him up. So you take him out of that environment and you hopefully, see the same play, if not better play, minus the penalties.
Check me out. You said I wasn't conducting the Chris Greer train yet. I'm working my way up. I told you I'm moving up cars. I'm moving up I'm about to start operating this thing too. The Jacksonville Jaguars, and since we're talking free agency, DJ Chark went to the Detroit Lions for $12 million a year. And I sat right here on this podcast.
Sorry, how long?
1 season.
Yeah.
So I sat right here on this podcast and said, we should try to go get DJ Chark. His number will probably come in around $12 million a year. That's what I said right here on this podcast. I thought Allen Robinson would come in around 16. But now that Christian Kirk had messed up the market, you got receivers like, nah, bro, I'm not going. No, I'm not. You paid a slot receiver $18 million, but okay, we actually had the slot receiver numbers. Remember? So matter of fact, Christian Kirk is getting paid more than Cooper Kupp now. Cooper Kupp has to get $20 million now because the slot receiver market is so jacked up. So how about this? The Jacksonville Jaguars spent $40 million a year going to Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, and Zay Jones. And they also have Marvin Jones Jr. on that roster. And they went from DJ Chark, Dan Arnold, and Laviska Shenault. That is a segue. First, before I segue, shout out to Chris Greer for not banging us up like that. Did they even improve? Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, Marvin Jones? And they had DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, and Marvin Jones? Is that really an upgrade?
That must be like one of the highest paid. I can't think of words like the highest paid silent move.
Oh, my bad. Good.
Lateral
movement.
Even like it's they paid a lot of people a lot of money to potentially get worse. But in my team, if Trevor Lawrence has another year in which he looks bang average at times, then you kind of know that these receivers are nothing. But apparently, elite quarterbacks from Clemson are meant to elevate everything around them. So he best, reach the playoffs.
Well, that was a jab. I hope everybody caught that. And it wasn't just a jab at Trevor Lawrence. I hope y'all caught that too. So how about this, Kadeem? There was somebody in that conversation that I need to bring up, absolutely need to bring up right now. Because Christian Kirk and Zay Jones went to Jacksonville, and they're rebuilding or they're revamping over there in Jacksonville. Rumor is Laviska Shenault is available for trade. For those of us who don't know who Laviska Shenault is, fret not. He was on Touche's 24 in 2020. Laviska Shenault went to the University of Colorado. This man is literally the closest thing, and I don't want to say this because there's only one Deebo Samuel, but he is the closest thing to physically comparing the two. Deebo Samuel is 6 foot 215. Laviska Shenault is 6'1", 220. So for everyone who had we could use this person in the Deebo Samuel role, I'm going to say it again. There's only one Deebo Samuel. Just because you have the same size as him or as fast as him or good hands and athletic enough don't mean you could have the same success. Even McDaniel said that on the what was it? The Pat McAfee podcast. Like, we came up with that this year. You know what I'm saying? That was something we always thought of. We just did it on the fly. So Laviska Shenault is a legitimate weapon, bro. He played running back and receiver in college. Came to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is Jacksonville, and now Jacksonville is about to make the bonehead move and move on from him. His rookie contract is he's still owed $1.3 million in 2022 and $1.6 million in 2023. If you don't trade a 5th round pick to acquire Laviska Shenault, it's going to hurt my heart. Someone's going to do it, and it might not even take a 5th. Someone's going to trade and acquire Laviska Shenault. So he can play running back. He can play receiver. He is Deebo Samuel's exact size, almost to the pound, to the kilo. If I'm in, what y'all Stones?
Stones.
Yeah, to the stone. Let me get my London stuff up. Let me get my English stuff up.
Stones and pounds.
So yeah, man. I love me some Laviska Shenault. I need him. Every fantasy football league, I draft Laviska Shenault every year. So it'll be nice to have Laviska Shenault on this Miami Dolphins team. And while we're talking free agency, yeah, Cedric Wilson is cool. I don't mind it. It's a nice piece. It is still a nice piece to this day. It's a nice piece. I see where the Dolphins are going. I understand what they're saying, what they're doing here. Because Cedric Wilson, on the other hand, was option number 7 in Dallas. So for everyone saying, "Oh, our receivers aren't that bad. We got Parker," and I'm like, "Yo, look at Cincinnati's receivers. Ross will come right now and be the option number 2 to Waddle, second to Waddle on this receiving corps." So here we go, get Cedric Wilson. This is not a slide at Cedric Wilson. This is just saying we need an upgrade for Miami. You had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, Ezekiel Elliott, and Tony Pollard were all options before Cedric Wilson. And as of today, you can argue Cedric Wilson is the second or third option on our team right now. What does that tell you? That is a legitimate argument. You can sit here and say Cedric Wilson is our second or third option right now. And he was the 7th option on the Cowboys. I'm just saying. So when you do the math and you just weigh up what we had on the Dolphins, I'm just saying I would have opted to go 2 receivers in the draft, or to get yourself a bona fide starting receiver like a Allen Robinson, Odell, or Amari Cooper, something like that. Because Cedric Wilson's, while I'm paying him $7.5 million a year, you still got a Laviska Shenault for my dollar. Is better than Cedric Wilson, and his next 2 years is $1.5 million basically, and all you had to do was trade a 5th. So yeah, I'm conducting this Chris Greer train, but there's certain things that I don't like about it, and I might want to remodel the car a little bit.
Yeah, and that's fair. I think bringing in someone like Laviska Shenault again allows you to make a big money move on the offensive line. It allows you to control. That's a horrible word. It allows you to, have Shenault on your roster for basically peanuts. It allows you to say to perhaps another receiver. We mentioned the future of Matt Collins. Now, don't get me wrong, I want him to stay in Miami. I think he plays a role, obviously, on offense and special teams. But it means that, you might not bring back Matt Collins because you've just signed, Keon Crossen, retained Duke Wiley and stuff like that. So we'll see. But surrounding Tua with just more weapons. I can't get around that enough. And it seemed that was the plan, which the Dolphins front office, that was their main priority. Going to free agency was like, we need to get better weapons. We need, receivers, running back. And it seems like, I don't know if you're ready to get here yet, but it seems like some of the players not being moved just yet, mainly Terran Armstead, are basically waiting to see where Deshaun Watson goes. Now, there will be those who are saying this is why you bring in a Deshaun Watson, because he's gonna naturally, pull other great players around. And I don't think we ever doubted that. Something I said off air, which I didn't say on air last time, and that obviously Watson is now being found not guilty.
Whoa. I'm glad you said the word not guilty. So yeah. He wasn't even indicted to be found not guilty, but they didn't have enough to indict him on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not considered not guilty, but there aren't even charges being pressed. So yeah. Continue.
But it's just the reason why I don't want Watson in Miami, and to put it extremely bluntly, I think the guy's a scumbag. He's been found not guilty, so in the eyes of the law, he's an innocent man, or not guilty man. But you can't convince me that 22 women have made this stuff up against him. I'm sorry, you can't convince me that, unless you've spoken to 22 women and they've told you that we've all lied. I don't want to hear your arguments. I believe that some of them may have been made to feel uncomfortable around him. I believe some of them, perhaps some of them are lying. But to me, 22 women aren't lying. And I believe what he's done to them, we probably will never know. But to me, the scumbag, and I don't want scumbags on my team. Now, again, yes, you'll turn around and go, well, look what Xavier Howard did. And yes, I've been on here, Charlie, I've messaged you after Xavier Howard gets interception with X and stuff like that. I've played lightly with Xavier Howard as a Miami Dolphin, and I fully understand that. I personally feel that Xavier Howard has handled himself differently to how Watson has handled himself, given what Howard was accused of, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's call me a hypocrite, call me whatever you want. I really couldn't care less, to be honest. I'm on this stool. I believe Watson's a scumbag. Listen, if the Dolphins trade for Watson, like I said before, I'm not going to not support the Dolphins. I'm not going to like it, but I'm not going to, plant my flag in the ground and say, that's it, I'm done, because he's not guilty. I don't have to like every single Dolphin player on this team. No one does.
That was a lot to digest there. I disagree, though. I feel like if all it takes is 22 people to say something happened, then the next time something happens and 22 people confirm it, then that's all you need to put somebody in prison. I do believe in smear campaigns. Not saying that this is one of them, but I do believe in smear campaigns. And I do believe people could rally up against you and paint a narrative that may not necessarily be true. Again, not saying that this is one of them. So if I'm being real with you, if I had to make let's stop recording and let's just talk about this real quick. If I had to make one of those type of comments, I'll be real with y'all. I'm gonna just be real. I am on the side of he's probably closer to a scumbag than he is closer to being innocent. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. That's how I feel. He's probably closer to being a scumbag than he is didn't do anything at all. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I am. But I don't have to have an opinion on it. Like, I don't have an opinion on a lot of things. He has nothing to do with my everyday life. But Miles Jack, Bobby Wagner. Miles Jack has he been released officially?
I believe so, yeah. Or I'll say officially. It's one of them. He's going to get released.
Right. So it's one of those, hey, we're about to release this guy. Come try to get a trade from us because he's going to be wanted, and you might want to give us a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick for Miles Jack. And then the teams are going to be like, nah, we'll wait till he's released. So Miles Jack is on the way to being released. And I believe you can get Miles Jack for a pretty cheap price. Now, unlike the Lyle Collins situation, I'm not waiting for Lyle Collins to get released, bro. He fits the need. He is a great player. We need to go get him. I'm trading a pick to go get Lyle Collins. That's what I'm doing. This Miles Jack, on the other hand, I'll wait for him to get released because now I could bring him in for a 1-year deal, low cap number. If he bites, and if he doesn't, he goes somewhere else, finds a deal. That's good for you. But I am interested in Miles Jack. You?
Oh yeah, I think Miles Jack is someone who I remember just getting into the NFL when he was coming out of college. You hear about this amazing linebacker, probably a top 5 pick, and he gets injured, and everyone was like, "Damn, wow!" And I remember vividly. That draft going, Dolphins take a chance. Not in the first round, but Dolphins take a chance. Top of the second, Jags took a chance, and it was like, what could have been? I remember it might have been the year after. Same thing happened with Jalen Smith, and I was like, Dolphins take a chance. Again, didn't. So, listen, Miles Jack isn't the guy he was coming out of college. Miles Jack may not be the answer to the slight inside linebacker issue the Dolphins have, I guess. But to me, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I agree with you. He's the one who I wait to hit free agency and I make a move early to bring it back to Lyle Collins. Again, chatting to Charlie Wilson, that deal should have been done days ago. The moment moment it became known he was available, the Dolphins should have moved. And it's like the Dolphins as an organization don't really learn from their previous mistakes. You know, why'd you let certain people hit free agency? You know, it's not really a similar situation to Drew Brees, but go and get Drew Brees. Just do it. Don't waste time.
Do it and say you tried.
Yeah. And I think again, it's not like Collins is on a massive deal. 3 years, 10 million.
Bro, it is the best deal you can ask for, bro.
Yeah.
Like for him, for what he gives you and what his number is, bro, there's a chance that number's going up if he becomes cut. If he gets cut, he might get more than 10 million.
And that's the thing. Like I have to imagine Chris Greer wants him on a 3-year deal, but one where he probably gets paid a bit more first and second year, and then the third year doesn't really matter. But it's like, dude, don't mess around. My theory is that they want Teron Armstead. That's the guy they want, and that once Armstead works out where he's going, if it's not Miami, they're gonna be on the phone to Collins and say, "Yo, let's get it done." No,
and then the Cowboys could hit him with the Fat Joe. Yesterday's price is not today's price, and then now you got to pay a third for him instead of a fourth. One of the fours that you got. And back to Terran Armstead, waiting for Deshaun Watson to see. You know what? If Watson's coming to the Saints, I'm staying here. Same thing with Will Fuller, who probably is going to go wherever Watson goes, right? So, bro, the Dolphins we do not have the luxury of sitting on our hands like we did last season. Shout out to you, Kadeem. Miles Jack came out in 2016, and we still got linebacker problems. So it's like, yeah, we don't learn. So you just hit it on the head, bro.
Yeah, I think people have kind of worked out the Dolphins have about 26 million left. Yeah. You take Collins, that's roughly 14, between 14 and 16, depending on everything else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be out of order, because people have jobs, people have families to feed. And you know where I'm going with this. You bring in Lyle Collins through the door and say, "Thank you very much, Jesse Davis, off you go." To me, that's like the moment it happens, you go, "Jesse Davis, thank you." Now, I probably would have cut Jesse Davis already, but I kind of understand if you want to wait and to see your moves. And Jesse Davis become your sixth offensive lineman. I heard someone saying in a Twitter space that he's the best sixth offensive lineman in the league. He's not that. He's not that.
Hold on. I ain't gonna lie. I've had some hot takes before, and I've hit some things on the head before. Depending on what Jesse Davis' cap number is, he is a good guard, bro. He just played tackle, bro. You see, and not only, I know he could play both guard. He could play left guard and right guard. We just had him at tackle. Shout out to Robert Hunt, played tackle, didn't look the best, moved inside, and now he looks like a franchise right guard. So Jesse Davis is a backup, but he's a backup guard, right? And he plays better at left tackle too, by the way, Jesse Davis. So he's not the best six man out there, not that, but he is. Yeah. He's nice, bro. He's nice when you use him the right way. So you need backups. Now, here's where it's different. It's different if you get Lyle Collins, because now you get Lyle Collins, you can save that Jesse Davis cap number. We'll pull it up now. You can save that Jesse Davis cap number because you have Liam Eichenberg in the building. So because you have Liam Eichenberg in the building, you can put Liam Eichenberg at right guard if Lyle Collins goes down. So you don't need Jesse Davis to be there just in case Lyle Collins goes down. You need Jesse Davis just in case Robert Hunt goes down or your left guard goes down. However, we just got Conor Williams. You see what I'm saying? So now you got Conor Williams and you have Liam Eichenberg, who could play right guard or right tackle, left guard or left tackle. Not the best at it, but better than Jesse Davis can. So you get Lyle Collins, you can dismiss Jesse Davis, like you were saying. It really kind of, you can do that. But if you go get left tackle, and Terran Armstead, you're still going to need to keep. Jesse Davis.
So then,
not at right tackle though, not as a starter, but
yeah,
you're probably backing up Liam Eichenberg.
So here's a question for you: if the Dolphins do manage to sign Terron Armstead, yeah, what do you think what would your starting five be? And that's the only, again, this is the only other free agency move we make, and we haven't got anyone in the draft. So it's like we signed Terron Armstead today. We've got a game tomorrow. What's your starting five?
Jesse Davis is on his last year of his deal. He's getting $3 million this year. He's a backup. My starting five would be, before I say this, I don't want Terron Armstead. Terron Armstead, and we playing a game. I'm playing the game. I got you. I'm answering it. But Terron Armstead has played in the past 3 seasons less games than Devontae Parker. We know what 3 years feel like of Devontae Parker. We know that. So imagine Terron Armstead playing less than that. And if we put a number on it, I think it's like 75% of his games, and Devontae Parker has played 85% of his, which I thought that was a high number. Like, bro, 85%? You sure about that? You know what I'm saying? So Armstead's always injured, but when he's on the field, he's on the field. So to answer your question, Armstead would be my left tackle. Conor Williams and Austin Jackson and Solomon Kinley will be fighting it out at left guard.
No. I need definitive. Because I said, what's your starting five?
Bro, I gotta go to camp. Like, I gotta see who's the best guard I have.
No, because the question was, you signed Armstead today. The game is tomorrow, dude. That's the game.
The game is tomorrow, bro. Like, so I don't get a preseason. I don't get a camp.
No. This is Saw. I'm Jigsaw. I ain't got a mask right now. I'm Jigsaw. You don't get training camp. You don't get practice rounds.
Hold on. You watch the Saw movies? You like the Saw movies?
I saw the first few, and that was it.
Oh, okay. I thought we just became best friends again. No.
So this is the game. Like Jigsaw voice. This is the game. Sign on to today. Game is tomorrow. What's your starting five?
Starting five is Armstead at left tackle, Conor Williams at left guard, Dieter at center, Robert Hunt at right guard, Liam Eichenberg at right tackle, which I do not like the starting lineup, but I'll take it.
I think if we sign Armstead, I think that would be the starting five, barring injuries.
I don't like that.
It's
better than last year, but I still don't like it.
Yeah. It's you don't sign Armstead and Williams to not start them, I guess. And Robert Hunt is like the only one in this scenario. Hunt and these are the guys you keep in their place, and you're not starting Jesse Davis at right tackle. You're not going to flip Austin Jackson to right tackle, so it's Liam Eichenberg. I think that will be the starting lineup if we sign Armstead.
Here's why I don't like that. Because yes, it's an upgrade up from last year, but you need more than that. And that means you didn't solidify your O-line, and you didn't solidify your receivers either. That's exactly what that means. Yes, you still have the draft. What's to look for?
Receivers have been part of the game.
It was no. The game's over. I already said my part. We played the game. I know the game's over. I just don't like it. Like I said it, and we come to a conclusion. That's the O-line, and if that's the O-line, we're still in trouble because we don't have a solidified O-line and we don't have a solidified receiving core. And shout out to Josh Kasker. He's going to be on this podcast next year saying the same thing he said this year, which was, what did we need in 2021? What did we need in 2022? And now what do we need in 2023? Because that's exactly what's going to happen if that's the O-line. Now, I played your game. If that is the way we go, Terron Armstead comes in at left tackle, I would not mind for the life of me if you still acquire Lyle Collins. Because now that means you have Terron Armstead at left tackle, Lyle Collins at right tackle. Liam Eichenberg can probably beat out Conor Williams at left guard, but he doesn't have to. But now he becomes a bona fide 6-man, the best 6-man in the league. He could play left tackle. He could play left guard. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you have depth at you have, that's probably a top 15 O-line. Lyle Collins and Terron Armstead, Williams and Robert Hunt. I'm lying. I think it's a top 12 O-line. You see what I'm saying? And now Eichenberg comes in at left guard, left tackle, or right tackle. Essentially, you just paid a second-round pick to replace Jesse Davis to be the best backup in the league. I'm okay with it. Now, in the draft, you have to go receiver. You see what I'm saying? Because now you don't have the cap. If that doesn't happen, you bring in Terron Armstead, and Eichenberg is still your right tackle. In my opinion, you still have to go tackle in the draft. And you still have to get a receiver. So I don't love it. I would absolutely love anything in the equation that says Lyle Collins is coming to the Dolphins. I love it. And I don't care what you do after that. Bro, you could have paid Christian Kirk $18 million. And Lyle Collins still came. I don't care. I don't care, bro. We got a right tackle. That's how I feel about it.
What do you think of the potential going after Morgan Moses?
It's a need. Everything is an upgrade at right tackle. So I believe Morgan Moses is better than Liam Eichenberg right now at right tackle. And the reason I say Liam Eichenberg is because when you say what I think about going to get Morgan Moses, it's me thinking we're going to keep Liam Eichenberg at left tackle. I want you to understand that.
Yeah.
Whether we do or don't, we still need to upgrade Jesse Davis at right tackle. So Morgan Moses is an upgrade at right tackle. Trent Brown is better than Morgan Moses. So Trent Brown is better at right tackle than Jesse Davis. And then you obviously you have Lyle Collins. So if you give me Lyle Collins, we do not have to draft another tackle in the draft this year. If you give me Morgan Moses, Mount Moses, or Trent Brown, we still have to go tackle in the draft. So that's where I'm at with that. What about you?
No, I agree. It's again, how Lyle Collins isn't a Dolphin, I have no idea. And to me, it's one of them things where I wish there was a press conference at some point. I should be like, "Yo, Mike, you need to explain the fools." Like, if
that's a Chris Word question.
Yeah, if Collins isn't a Miami Dolphins come next season, at some point someone needs to ask, what was your thinking behind not getting Lyle Collins? And it's a question that it's not a nice question to ask, but you can't say you're going to be aggressive in the draft. You can't have probably the best right tackle being made available. So as in draft, so in free agency, the best right tackle made available basically, and then they'll go and get him. Someone has to ask you, like, yo, what do you think you're doing?
Bro, forget all that being aggressive stuff. We already understand that you have to pay. You get what you pay for. Because we're not paying a lot of money for the right tackle, and he's only worth $10 million, he's only getting paid $10 million. We should not have a problem overpaying and sending them a pick. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we did not have to send a pick, then you shouldn't mind overpaying and paying $18 million a year for him because you didn't lose that pick. The fact that he's only getting 10, you should be happy to give him a third-round pick. Hey, you got to pay for it. You get what you pay for. Bro, if Lyle Collins goes to the Bengals when they just got Karras and I forgot the other guard they just got from, I forget what the Bengals got. The Bengals got two guards, upgraded two guards. Sure. Did they get Sheriff?
I'll double check.
Nah, I don't think it was Sheriff. But the Bengals got two guards. And if they go get Lyle Collins, this is going to be the second team in
Jaguars got Sheriff, sorry.
This is going to be the second team in 2 seasons that upgraded their O-line and made it one of the best O-lines in the game in 2 years. KC did it last year in one off season. Now the Bengals, if the Bengals go get Lyle Collins, they could do it this year in one off season. Another team I'm gonna mention, the Chargers. If the Chargers bring in Lyle Collins, bro, for the life of me, yo, there's a gif out there on Twitter of a dude being extremely mad. That would be Charlie Touche. Listen, on paper today, I said it right here on Go Time Dolphins. The same way Kadeem wants Deshaun Watson to go somewhere and not make the playoffs so he could wrap big money. The Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, on paper today, have the best team in the NFL. I said it right here on Go Time Dolphins. You got Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, the best route runner in the NFL, Keenan Allen, J.C. Jackson on corner, across from Asante Samuel Jr., with arguably, he's not the best, but a top 5 safety in Derwin James at safety. Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Bro, if Herbert don't make the playoffs next year, I don't want to hear anybody ever say nothing about anything ever. Don't say, oh, it's the hardest division in football. Yo, you got the best team in football on paper. The Cowboys used to have that, the paper champs, every year. Nah, Chargers, welcome to the game. Y'all did it. Y'all got the best team on paper. I ain't even going to lie to you. Herbert ain't got no excuses. But hey, you clocked in now, Herbert. You on the clock. Straight up. So if Lyle Collins goes to the Chargers because Brian Bulaga just got cut, I ain't going to lie, bro. We in trouble, Holmes. We going to have to hear Herbert's better than Tua forever.
I ain't trying to hear that.
I ain't trying to hear that either. Ain't trying to hear it. But listen, shout out to Teddy Two Gloves. You know, this is a recap, but shout out to Teddy Two Gloves. Joe Shad tweeted, in Teddy Bridgewater and Tua Tagovailoa, the Dolphins now have the 5th and 6th active NFL quarterback career completion percentage leaders in the NFL, just ahead of Patrick Mahomes. 5th and 6th in completion percentage, all on the same team. I don't know who the Tua haters will tell you, oh, there's some type of reason why that number is wrong. Like he's not 5th and 6th, or he's not 5th, or Tua is not 5th or 6th in completion percentage in the NFL. It's the truth, though. What you got, Kadeem?
I said that exact same thing on the Teddy Bridgewater episode.
It's an update, bro. I can't recap. What if they didn't see it?
You just so if they didn't see it, they were like, oh, Charlie done his homework. Not oh, by the way, Kadeem mentioned this on the last episode. Go and check it. So this, no, what? It's cool.
I thought we were a team, Kadeem.
Okay, cool.
I thought this is a team. There's no I in Kadeem.
Some people spell it with an I. I don't know why. There's an
I
in
you
Simmons.
Spell it with an I?
No, there's an I in Simmons.
Hey, man, y'all come over to bonus time, man. We got some updates. Sam Aguivan just re-signed to the Miami Dolphins. Check us out on the other side of bonus time. I hope y'all appreciated this update. We'll have a Sam Aguivan. It used to be Aguivan, but now it's Aguivan. Episode coming out as well. Stay updated with us. Every free agent signing we have this offseason, we'll have a little brief episode for you guys. So Javon Holland giveaway winner will be announced this week, even if it takes an extra episode to do that. So y'all stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
I in Kadeem, there's an I in Charlie. As in,
There is.
yeah, because you're selfish. All you have to say, don't give me that face. All you have to say was, oh, by the way, Kadeem mentioned on the Teddy Bridgewater thing, but no, it's fine. I get it. You wanna be Mr. Homework. You wanna be teacher. I done my homework. Here we go. Kadeem didn't do his homework. It's fine. It is what it is. I won't talk about too much about Sam right now. We'll take that for the for his own episode. Everyone's got the one episode. He deserves one. It's kind of about the Watson stuff, which is the teams he's meeting. So far he's met the Saints, Panthers, and the Browns, and he's going to meet the Falcons. But the only way those meetings are taking place is because the Houston Texans have approved the trade terms. I genuinely want to know what the Falcons are going to give up to basically, to go and get him. So I think probably within. No, I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to put an hours on it, but I think within the next few, I think we'll know pretty soon where Watson goes. And I think once we know where Watson going, I think you're going to see a bunch of dominoes start falling, including Armstead, Collins, David Quinsonberry, Will Fuller. And I think once you know where Will Fuller's going, Allen Robinson, all that kind of stuff. I think there's a bunch of dudes basically who have been told by teams, we want to get you, but we might have the money because we've got the money tied up elsewhere. And that's because Terran Armstead hasn't basically made a decision.
I ain't gonna lie to you. If Watson go to Cleveland, which I don't think they're in the final decision of the teams. I think there's, like, you didn't you just say the Panthers, the Saints, and Cleveland, basically the NFC South.
He's met with Cleveland.
Yeah, but I think then what's it say? It says the Houston has approved trade terms from 3 teams:
Saints, Panthers, Cleveland, and
the
Falcons.
So it's 4 teams.
So 14, but he's met with 3. He's got. I think he finished his interview with the Browns.
Right.
Like pretty much now, he's going to meet the Falcons.
All right, it doesn't matter. How about this? If Watson goes to Cleveland, they have the best team in the NFL. They're supposed to win the Super Bowl if Watson goes to Cleveland. Watson, what does Watson have Atlanta? Or what does Atlanta have for Houston is what you're saying. I think it's location. Like I'm from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? It's not that far from where I went to college. I want to be here. Location is a thing, is a pitch. And yeah, Atlanta might not have players to give them, but they're gonna have to cough up a gang of picks. It might be three ones, 3 2s, and a third, instead of what other teams could give you 3 1s and a couple players. They might have to give in a couple more picks.
Yeah. I think if I'm Houston, I'm kind of like, listen, in the nicest way possible, I know you want to go home, but we've got better offers elsewhere, and you're happy to go to those teams. So, Falcons, thanks, but no thanks. But I guess
then Watson will be like, oh, you know what? Suddenly, my no trade clause says I'm not going to New Orleans. Make it happen.
Yeah. But again, like, if it gets to that, then fair enough. But it's, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Growing up as a kid, was you a wrestling fan?
Wrestling, like WWF? Yeah. It was actually WWF back in the day when I was on it. And not only was it WWF.
Dude, me as well. I'm not that young.
All right. What about WCW? You remember that?
I'm wearing an NWO t-shirt. Yes, I know WCW. Monday Night Wars, Monday Night Nitro. Dude, don't do this.
Hey, bro, listen. You know what I tell people? I love movies, and I used to be a movie buff. And I might have said this on this podcast before. I used to be a movie buff, but now since I have a career in a whole bunch of different things as an adult, I don't have the time to be a movie buff anymore. But it's kind of like in the gym. When I used to be in the gym, well, all right, not me. But when someone was in the gym, they'll be all swole. And when they're not in the gym, they still might have the little definition, but you could tell they don't work out no more. That's how I am with movies. Like, I'm not a movie buff anymore, but I got a gang of movies for you. You feel me? So with wrestling, I can't say I was a wrestling head, but I used to love wrestling when I was younger. I could probably hold a wrestling conversation with you about back in the day, not anything current.
Yeah, it's only because yeah, I am wearing an NWO t-shirt in honor of Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, who passed away. If you watch some of the previous recap or update creative update videos, and I was wearing the NWO top and the little Wolfpack sign, now just me honoring Scott Hall, who the guy changed the wrestling game. We talk about these guys moving in free agency. The guy went from WWF to WCW, started the Monday Night Wars, him and Kevin Nash, the Outsiders, going to be the NWO. Listen, he's someone who, I don't say the original bad guy in wrestling, but
he's the bad guy, bro. Hit the toothpick.
I didn't say listen,
the toothpick, bro.
Listen to what I said. He wasn't he was the bad guy, but before that, Ric Flair was a bad guy.
I thought they called him the bad guy though.
Yeah.
They called him the bad guy.
Yes, I know. I get that. The point I'm making is that yes, he was the bad guy, but there were there was hated guy before him. Like Jerry Lawler was a hated guy. The commentator. Yeah.
Come on, bro. I told you if it's pre 95, I pre 96, 7, 8, something like that. I got you. I could do this. I could hold a conversation.
All I was saying that obviously, that's quite interesting. Obviously, I would just say he was the bad guy. And for my generation, he was the original bad guy. We didn't know bad guys before we knew Razor Ramon.
What was his finishing move?
The Razor's Edge.
Very good, Junior Grasshopper.
This guy's... Hey yo. don't Dude,
come on, man. Hey, I'm out here, bro. Listen, I know a little something, bro. I'm telling you, hey, Ride a Razor's Edge. All right, but hold up. Razor's Edge, Razor Ramon, the toothpick. Dang, bro. Wolfpack, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Suck It, D-Generation X.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Bro, I could do this. You remember who Sting is? Sting? You remember Sting?
I saw 62-year-old Sting jump off a balcony through a table 2 weeks ago. Dude, Sting is still wrestling today. Sting is about that life.
I seen a picture of this dude with paint on his face. Is that the real Sting? Is Sting still hanging around here?
Sting is still hanging around.
Bro.
Sting is about that life.
Sting, Shawn Michaels. Obviously, you got The Rock. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, you got probably out of The Rock and Stone Cold, bro. Man, oh my goodness, bro. And that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Did you just mix up two Rock guys?
No. But I said them both. I said both of them.
Okay, cool.
I said both of them.
There wasn't enough of a space. It made it sound like he was literally wedged.
Like you mixed up the quote with the you did ride together, bad together, die together, but you live to fight another day. What are you talking about, bro?
That's why I called you out. I was like, you sounded like you don't know your rock song.
Nah, bro. I know my wrestling, bro. I told you, bro.
By the way, I never liked the Rock. Didn't like the Rock as a wrestler. It wasn't for me.
That's all we got, man. You can end the podcast right now, bro. You acting, bro. You tripping, bro.
Nope.
The people's elbow.
It's an elbow. And what?
The eyebrow.
Listen, the people's elbow. Yeah, you knocked me to the floor, and I'm not unconscious. Yeah, I'm meant to lie there for 30 seconds while you stand there, raise your eyebrow, take off your elbow pad, throw it into the ring, do some arm movements, go from side to side, and I'm still on the floor. Get out of my face, man. I'm gonna jump up, chokeslam you, and end of the fight. Listen, no. The Rock was the one where I was like, you're annoying me. Right? Nah. Not a Rock guy.
Smell what The Rock is. cooking. But man, I could hold up, bro. Ultimate Warrior. Well, I could do this, man. I could do this, bro. Like, look, back to football, man. Back to football. I found that stat that I was telling you about. But shout out to Kyler Murray. He tweeted, "Gonna miss going to war with my guy Chase Edmonds. Miami got a dog." That's what Kyler Murray said. And the stat I was telling you about was Devontae Parker played 82% of his games in his career. And Terron Armstead played 75% of his games in the past 8 years. So if you got a feel for how many games Devontae Parker missed, imagine Terron Armstead missing at least, well, not at least, but like 7% less than Parker. That's a lot of games, bro. But I am also an advocate for Agbo turned his career around, and he's only been hurt once and like missed one game in 2 years. So I'm cool with it. But I don't know if you pay that bag for somebody who only played 75% of their games.
Just the money, not only the money you can save, the moves you can make by getting Lyle Collins. Like you probably can't get Allen Robinson, but you may be able to maneuver the cap around.
You might be able to get Lyle Collins and Allen Robinson,
and that's what I'm saying.
So here's where we at right now, and I thought it was going to end, but real quick, I'll leave y'all with this. You can still bring in Lyle Collins right now, move on from Parker, save that $6 million, bring in Allen Robinson, and trade a fifth to get Laviska Shenault. Laviska Shenault, Cedric Wilson, Allen Robinson, Waddle, bro, Lynn Bowden. You can do it, and that's before the draft. You see what I'm saying? So it could be done. Move on from Parker, go get Robinson, go get Lyle Collins, and go get Laviska Shenault is my dog, bro.
So I'll go.
Touche's 24. I've been on him.
I'll go one better. Bring in again. It would take some cap massaging and some trades. Bring in Lyle Collins, Allen Robinson, Miles Jack. Trade Devontae Parker, cut Jesse Davis, and you might have to move some cap money around. To me, to me, it's doable, and that's just off the top of my head, and moving things around.
It actually is doable. In that scenario, you might have to move on from Eric Rowe, and you'll probably have to draft a safety late in the draft because you don't absolutely need Eric Rowe or the draft a safety high.
Cut Alan Hearns. He hasn't been moved yet.
He's going to go anyway. Alan Hearns is going to be a part of the cap that you need to sign your rookies. You know what I'm saying? So there's still people whose heads are going to roll. They're still going to go. Jesse Davis is probably one of them. Hearns is going to be one of them. And if I'm being real, Rowe is probably one of them too. But just for the sake of playing that game, you can probably work out Miles Jack if he takes a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, and you can squeeze in Parker by moving on. You can squeeze in Allen Robinson by moving on from Parker, and you can also get Lyle Collins, and that's safe. So, again, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm not opposed to bringing in Lyle Collins and Terron Armstead and going receiver in the draft. I'm not opposed to it because if I'm being real with you, you can also go Lyle Collins, Terron Armstead, and trade a fifth to get Laviska Shenault and still go receiver in the draft. And you kept Parker with that scenario. There's a lot of things you could do, bro. We'll catch y'all.